Hello, and welcome back to Sharing a Chapter a Day. This is Do, Ra, me, and today I will be reading Chapter 84 of Engagement in Peril by Dara, Odoe, Sup. Chapter 84 is titled Outlook Better. During the very first week of that new year in 2000, my sister, along with her baby daddy, her kids, my brother, and I moved into a more spacious apartment off of Hill Street and Martin Luther King Jr. Street. We had moved into a two-bedroom apartment where my brother and I shared a room. My sister's four kids shared the other room, and my sister and her live-in boyfriend husband made the living room into their bedroom, just like at the previous smaller apartment off of Linden Avenue. Although there were 8 of us there, we made it work. We shared what we had and supported each other in the best way we knew how. We shared food and expenses with one another. I was happy and willing to help my sister and her kids then. I lived with my sister and her children for about 2 years before I decided to move in with Benevolence and her family at their home off of Seabright Avenue in West Long Beach during that summer of 2001. Now, our relationship was getting quite serious, and thought it would be nice to have me live with them. While living with Benevolence and her family, I helped with rent as well. I was sharing a room with Benevolence and her cousin Chastity then, since their family had rented out the two-bedroom garage to a nurse and her growing family. Now, while I was attending City College that year for the fall semester of 2001, America was hit with a horrendous terror attack where Al-Qaeda attacked the World Trade Center and the U.S. Pentagon by means of hijacking 3 large airplanes and slamming the planes into the New York Twin Towers, with one headed to the Pentagon. Instead, and luckily, that one crashed into a field in Pennsylvania. The tragic chaos destroyed New York's Twin Tower and killed more than 3,000 people in New York City that tragic day of September 11, 2001. I awoke that morning to an all-bulletin news of the attack on every channel on television. That was exactly 14 years ago to this day. I was worried and felt sad about the lives lost then, and prepared myself for my morning class at the community college. I went to my morning social science philosophy class at the Long Beach City College at the LAC campus then, and everyone there about and in the campus was talking about the horrendous attack that just had happened several hours ago. Even our professor discussed the attack and wanted to know how we felt about it. After a 2-hour class of discussion about the attacks and what makes people kill and hate each other, I walked out of my class and thought how I can help with this tragedy. So I thought how I can help. I decided to call up the U.S. Navy and see if my services was needed and asked if they would be recalling veterans. I also asked if I could go back into the services and volunteer my expertise and experiences and services. I explained to the second class petty officer of my experience as a FMF corpsman, a combat corpsman, and where I had my training and what my expertise were with the military. He took down my name and told me that he'll get back with me when he finds out about the recall, and if I could be useful to help fight terrorism. Eventually, after several days, unfortunately, the Veteran Affairs was taking care of me for my health and mental condition then, wasn't able to allow me to be recalled because I was being treated for mental health and on medication for my health as well. So my volunteering heroic act wasn't needed then. Things were going pretty smooth then between Benevolence and me. We found time to sneak off to make love and fuck around when no one was looking or watching. We fooled around at their family's thrift store, in their backyard shed, car garage, in the bathroom, and the cracks and nooks where we managed to squeeze ourselves into throughout the houses surrounding. What I hadn't bothered to think of or notice then was that I was falling for Benevolence's cousin Chastity as well, mainly of the sexual nature. I wanted to fuck Chastity. I just wanted to put my yin in Chastity Yang then. I was somewhat physically attracted to Chastity then. Living with her and seeing her every day seemed to get to me. Well, gives me a hard on. On my free time and when I was asked to, I drove Chastity to the local community college as well, and such since she didn't have a vehicle and Benevolence didn't seem to mind at first that I was doing this for her cousin. I was being nice. What I didn't know then that Chastity was having some physical and health problem. I didn't realize at the time that Chastity was stricken with UTI, urinary tract infections, and other STD infestation and often was on medication for those various physical illnesses. Although she and I had never made a move toward each other, there was always this sexual tension between Chastity and me. Sparks seemed to flicker off and on at times as we communicate our nonchalant conversation. I must admit, During our sleep and slumber in our bedroom, where I slept on the floor between the two cousins, I often sneaked and held Chastity's hands while we slept behind the hindsight of my beloved benevolence, where she was inches away from me. I was quite the man whore then. It seemed that I still wanted my cake and eat it too, just like back in high school. Just like the way I was in when I was in my freshman year of high school, where I sometime wanted both Suzanne and Kelly then. Man, things do go in circle. Chastity and I never talked about how we felt or what we wanted from each other. We just kept it cool and made sure that Benevolence didn't know the wiser. I was quite in love with Benevolence then, and of course we had our relationship problems. But we managed and made it work all the same. For some strange reason then, I was always trying to impress Chastity. Anything she asked me to do or help her with, I was going out of my way to please her. And I seem to be that way still, trying to please a pretty face and those I'm physically attracted to. At times it makes me angry at myself for being such a douchebag. Sucks to be you, Dara. You are quite the man whore, trying to please those you are physically attracted to. Take for example Zamai Chan and her cousin Maridin Sang in this Green Valley Mist area you once lived. You wanted so bad to you wanted so bad to bed and fuck the shit out of them that you got out of your way to please them whenever they asked you to do things for them in secret, even though you know for a fact that they were using you for your ride and knowledge. Where did all that time and spirit spent with them get you with them? Did that get you anywhere with them, you son of a bitch? Nowhere. Not even a caress or a warmth of hearty handshake, you son of a bitch. You need to wake the fuck up and do things for yourself. Don't risk your life pleasing other. To think that you even were attracted to their whore mother and aunt, and she was the worst of them all. Their mother, she was the worst of them all. She had you wrapped around her pampered finger. You were falling in deep, just like Shinshin had fallen for that terrible succubus, Delilah. And you knew that, and you knew what cost him, right? And you knew what it cost him, right? It cost him his damn bright life. You're a fucking schmuck, Dara. I don't envy you one bit. Hell no, not for all the money in the world. You pathetic son of a bitch. Although I feel sorry for you, at the very least I do. You know, if Shinshin was around and was able to be around Samai and Meriden and they saw him for who he was, he would have been able to bed them real easy. He just had that sort of vibe around him, you know. I can say for the fact that he would have been able to fuck the shit out of their mother as well, Dara. I surely miss my beloved Shinshin. I blame you for his demise, Dara. You killed him. You and that Catholic bitch Delilah had taken him away from me, and I curse the day that you two were ever conceived and brought into this godforsaken world. You son of a bitch. Why is it that the good they die young, and the sinner lives forever? Neither I nor Delilah deserve the comfort and love from a person like Shinshin. He was absolutely true and honest to us, and yet we both took advantage of his God-given good nature, and we used him till his death. This I can say that I am truly sorry for what I have done to him. I hope that Shinshin will be able to forgive me when I finally meet him in the afterlife. Thank you for listening. This is the end of Chapter 84. Be on the lookout for Chapter 85, titled Proposal to Benevolence on Christmas Day 2001. This is Do, Ra, me, and I'll see you later. Thank you.